corruption where big money is delivered to favored campaign donors and supporters in the boroughs. And so I just want you to think about that as the tableau in which Morris versus Board of Estimate came to fruition, and the work that Esmeralda and Paul did with respect to trying to get minority empowerment through voting rights came to fruition in the late 80s and early 90s, and was institutionalized by Fritz, Eric, Gretchen, and the Charter Revision Commission, and we became a far more transparent, because nothing in the Board of Estimate was transparent. I mean, everything was secret. Everything was done behind closed doors. The only way that anybody learned anything even about the budget was because the City Council had parallel power over the city budget. But in the Board of Estimate, nothing, and the Board of Estimate essentially controlled, because they controlled the revenue stream. And the budget was, of course, mostly about the spending. And so the Board of Estimate controlled the budget as far as we could tell and as far as we analyzed. And when we had the Charter Revision, that was all eliminated. You had a City Council, which was essentially a transparent organization. Too many people not to be transparent. It's a practical matter. Even if they wanted to keep it secret, they couldn't. And they love to talk, and they love to talk to the press. So you had a more traditional framework of government. You had what became a strong mayor. I want to say one more thing about the mayor. The mayor was a cipher for the Board of Estimate. Koch, for all of Koch's bluster, for all of his TV appearances, for all his "how am I doing," he had no power at all. He was beholden to the borough presidents for power. The county leader. Well, the borough presidents were the county leaders, or just the handmaid of the county leaders. And so the county leaders controlled, which meant also something. One more point about this that I think is essential about the nature of New York City before the Charter Revision versus the nature now. The boroughs actually had enormous power, which resulted in what many people thought was a good thing, that Manhattan didn't dominate, but that there was really a spread of concentration of certainly wealth, but also focus on the boroughs more so than after the Charter Revision. I think after the Charter Revision, there is definitely strong borough representation from the council and the power in the council, and of course just the votes that the mayor has to get elected. But it was much more of a city as a whole. It became a cultural, economic center that was a whole city, whereas borough identity prior to the Charter Revision was much more powerful, and it was a cultural and perceptive change of how we thought about the city, in my view. I mean, other people may disagree with this, but I view the city as much more consolidated after the Charter Revision than it was before, totally as a function of the fact that the democratic machines were essentially rendered powerless by the Charter Revision and the Board of Estimate case leading to the Charter Revision. And I think I should leave it with that.
Okay, thank you. Gretchen?